what scary stories did you ladies grow up with?
I grew up right in front of the Indian cemetery. This stagnant energy where I saw like light orbs around, and I would be with my friends, and they'd be like, would be frozen.
My mom walked into my room to wake me up, and all of a sudden, I'm like rock solid. Like I was screaming internally at the top of my lungs, like, Mom, like you think you're dying.
This is my haunted doll. I was in the comic book stores. We made eye contact. I'm like, oh, this is the energy that flicked my head.
So this is a little boy right now.
Johnny is.
I can't even look at it. It has horrible energy. Like the energy just gives me chills.
There's spirits that don't know that they passed.
New fear unlocked.
It's not like Dia de los Muertos, but we do go to the tombstone. We do set up things for my grandfather.
No, I gotta go. No, who did that?
No,
I
you
cannot.
guys, I'm
I can't.
What do you want to know?
I want to know if I'm gonna marry a broke man.
Uh-oh.
What?
He's not from here.
He's not from LA?
He's not from this planet.
Ivana, that's not how palm readings go. You owe me an answer.
I'm telling you.
I need to know who my soulmate is. Stop, girl. Come back over here. Okay, so today, welcome back to Girl, Let Me Tell You. Today we're talking about paranormal activities, and I want to know what scary stories did you ladies grow up with? Like, is any like legends, any...
I think there's honestly just like the ones that we all know about, like culturally, La Llorona, things of that nature.
Chupacabra was big.
El cucoy. Some people
Chupa,
call it
oh
el
my
cucoy.
God, look at that.
Oh.
That,
But who
that
is
actually
that?
looks better. Who is that?
It looks like a New York City rat.
Chupacabra is
that's true.
Chupacabra was a goat sucker. It sucked goat's blood, and they were like, that's a cabra is goat, and chupa is suck, so it's a goat sucker. Chupacabra. So it was like, it originated in Puerto Rico, when a farmer saw like this entity like that sucking a goat's neck and killing all these different goats. So it's called a chupacabra, and it was going around the world. And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
yeah,
So I was really scared of chupacabra.
What's the Dominican ones that they talk about?
I mean, there was. I feel like we talk a lot about like some of the movies that were made, like Andrea. There was this Pepe character. Yeah, it's Andrea. It was like a scary. It was like our big scary movie.
Have you ever had any like encounters personally yourself? I know you're super. You don't like talking about it, but have you ever had anything like felt somebody touch you or like seen something?
I mean, I've had sleep paralysis.
Yes.
That's about it. But I just don't mess with I don't mess with supernatural. I grew up next to a cemetery, so I was like, I'm gonna respect you, you respect me, we don't talk.
Yeah, I also grew up right in front of the Indian cemetery, and I was so crazy that like any friends that would come over, we would hop the fence in the middle of the night and go to the back of the cemetery, which wasn't like the proper cemetery. It was like the back where like all the old tombstones were and all the old coffins were. And I would be in the middle of the night, and I don't know what came over me, but I just wanted to be there. I wanted to get scared. And I would go, and there was a couple times that I went that it was like this stagnant energy where I saw like light bulb, like little light fixtures around.
What are they
floating.
called? Like orbs?
Light orbs around. And I would be with my friends, and they'd be like, would be frozen, and then we'd walk away. I haven't gone back since, like, this is like 15, 20 years ago, but it was like a big moment in my life where I could feel for the first time like a spirit. And then since then, I've had so much paranormal activity like in my rooms back then at that house.
Yeah.
Like sleep paralysis for years, like
Sleep paralysis
for years. I used to.
You've had sleep paralysis multiple times.
Probably 1,000 times. And it was at this house in this room. And I started off like not knowing why I can't. And it was always a dark entity. And then I started like cursing. I was like, get off me, F you. Like,
But you can't
and
say
then
anything
I
to
started
us.
praying.
But you can't say anything when you're under sleep
Listen,
paralysis.
no, but I
right?
did it. I would be laying next to my mom, like if I slept in my mom's bed one day or whatever, and I'd be like,
That's the worst.
to have her wake me up, and she couldn't wake me up.
Yeah.
But then I started praying. I was like, dear Lord, please. And then it started getting lighter, and then I started just going with it. And I went down into whatever this was, and I would fly around my room. This, you guys, I know this sounds crazy, but this is real. I would fly around my house.
Well, I've
then
had
it got to
sleep
the point that I
paralysis.
just left.
Really?
Yeah, and that was only at that house, so I haven't had it since.
Have you ever seen Harry Potter?
Yes, of course.
You know, this is a real thing. The Dementors, when they suck your face, that's what it feels like, sleep paralysis. You ever seen that scene where he's like in the tunnel with his cousin that he hates, and the mentors are like, and that's what sleep paralysis feels like. Like it's like they're sucking your soul.
I've experienced sleep paralysis once in Mexico, and it's the exact same thing. My mom walked into my room to wake me up, and all of a sudden, I'm like rock solid. Obviously, my body is just frozen, and your mind is fully awake. And I think there is an explanation medically for it, but you're just your brain's
like
awake, but your body's asleep.
It's when your body's like in REM, deep REM, like sleep,
brain
but your brain is activated, but your body can't move
But
yet.
I never felt like a demonic dark
There
presence.
were
I was
times
just like,
when it was dark.
I get really bad claustrophobia. So it was really like in that moment, I had never done research. I had never heard of it. I was like much younger in Mexico. So it was similarly to what you described, where you're like, like I was screaming internally at the top of my lungs, like, Mom, like you think you're dying. You literally think you are dying.
But have you guys ever had any paranormal experiences other than that?
Yeah, one other time.
What
and it happened earlier this year for the first time. I always heard people talking about their paranormal experiences. I never knew whether to believe it. I didn't know if it was just, it's like, I don't know, are you just like exaggerating? I was sleeping at my friend's house, and she told me that there's like spirits in there, but I didn't fully believe it.
You slept there anyways?
I sleep there all the time, and his name's Frank. They gave him a name, whatever. There was like a fire that happened years ago. Anyway, I was like sleeping there, and I was dreaming that like somebody was touching me, but then I would wake up and not open my eyes, and it felt like somebody was touching me. And it feels so crazy to say that, because I've heard people talk about their own experiences, and you're like, you're always so skeptical until you're literally in that moment and you're just petrified out of your life, and you're like, no, you feel like somebody's actually touching you.
But was it like in an invasive or like warming way?
A little
'Cause I feel
bit,
like sometimes people talk about, like I'm like in the middle. I can be easily convinced, like, okay, if you see a ghost, fine, I'll believe you. But I think some people talk about paranormal activity so negatively. So I want to know, like, was it like positive?
Yeah, like
or,
what kind of energy
was
I
it like,
feeling?
was it more like, hey, I got you? Or was it like, hey, wake up?
No,
you know, like,
it was more just like their hand was there, and I kept waking up, and I'm like, I swear somebody's touching me. Nobody was there. I'm like, just go to sleep. You're being extra, like I think
when you
and
aren't aware of it, it's really scary. And then when you
so
start
scary.
getting used to it, you realize that it isn't negative, and it's just is like.
But
just
how do you
an
know that
energy.
though? How do you know
because
if it's negative or not?
I don't think you do, but I've seen like an aunt that passed away in the corner of my room.
She passed away in your room?
No, she passed away,
Oh,
and then
like you
she
seen
came
her,
in the corner of my room. I saw her for a split second. I mean, there is a reason why we go into our sleep and we have crazy dreams, and we're dreaming for 8 hours, maybe, and maybe you don't remember, maybe you do, but you know, it's like.
I do believe like when you dream, like you're
It's
in
like-
a different state. I don't know what state it is, but I do believe that it's kind of like spiritual-ish.
But the best part about this is that we have a supernatural expert
excited.
here with us. Right now, we want to introduce Steffany Strange. Is a social media content creator, boasting a staggering following of over 700,000 on TikTok and 2 million on YouTube Something Scary channel. Her prominence in the digital realm led her to feature on CW's Mystery Decoded, as well as the Mysteries Decoded Presents Spirit Squad. You're a medium, a psychic medium, and you conduct spiritual development circles across the LA County area. I mean, what don't you do? So let's see what's up with the get. I'm like,
I'm excited.
should we do like a cleansing? What should we do?
They already cleansed me, Ivana.
Do you already know what's happening with us? Can you see our spirits behind us?
What can you sense on the table right now?
What's the
walking
vibe?
in.
Tell us the vibe.
In general, I mean, you guys are giving off really good vibes. I don't feel anything like crazy where I'm like, I need to run for the hills.
Have you ever been in situations where you're like, I need to get out of here?
Yes, I have.
Really? Like just with regular people that you're just around?
Yes, and I'm sensing that there's something off. Like I had this one time, so I used to do readings. When I started my journey, I started doing readings, and there's this one in particular individual who, like, they were, prim and proper. They were, a lawyer. And when we started doing the reading, or I started doing the reading for him, I'm like, this guy's like a stalker. And
Of you?
No, he was stalking a woman, and that's why he was paying people to do readings for him. So that is a thing that most people don't talk about, is like sometimes you'll get clients that are just, so lost in their own thoughts and their own vices. Like, again, this guy was literally stalking a woman, and after doing the readings after a while, I'm like, I can't do this with you.
So why was he seeking you?
So he wanted me to confirm that they were going to fall in love and they were meant to be and all
so
this
it's
stuff.
kinda like obsession.
Okay, so can we rewind
I have
and go back to
something so connected to this,
wait, I have a
though.
question. Where did where did you start? Can we get to know you a little bit? Like,
Sure.
how did you tap in? When was your first
Yeah.
experience?
So I was an atheist a good portion of my life, and it wasn't until 2011, the end of 2011, that I had a friend on Facebook reach out to me. So she's like, hey, you moved to Denver. I live in Denver now because we had lived in Minnesota, and we had a friend that died in a plane crash in 2007.
Yeah. I already talked about it in the green room.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this person, I didn't know her very well in high school. We just had that mutual friend as a connection. So I went to her house. Long story short, her parents, her mom and her partner, they're a lesbian couple for context, they were readers. And so they started picking up all this stuff. And one of the readings that really got to me was that she picked up that my mom had a deceased younger brother that she never told me about. So for me, I couldn't explain that away. Like, how would she know? This is 2011. It's not like you can get on the internet and look up all this stuff.
Right.
Plus, the brother died in El Salvador, so it's not like you can be like, what are the records of El Salvador? People that died in the war. Like, that's not accessible.
So that made you intrigued of this other world.
It did. So then I joined Meetup. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it used to be a website. It's still a website,
Yeah.
but you can use the app. And then Meetup is a place where you can find people with similar interests and everything. So I joined Meetup, and I find this group called the Psychic Development Group. And I started to see like the power of like what these people had and how they were helping each other out. And I met my husband, and it took me a couple of months, but I started just tapping in there like, okay, I'm gonna give messages. And then I realized that I was able to tap into my intuition, and I was in the right place to develop that. So, yeah.
Okay, I can relate to that. I haven't tapped into any of that or like dove in deep, but like if somebody's off or like somebody's like not doing well, it like, you have to be able to learn to like, because it literally affects you in that moment. And I know for a fact, like forever, like if I walk into somewhere, I can leave so drained if somebody is like bringing everything down. And like, do you think that's like something that you were kind of born with and you were like, yeah, this is it?
Yeah, like I was always told as a kid, I'm like, oh, Steffany, you're too sensitive, you're too this. And I was always scared of everything too. Like, so there'd be spaces in houses that I'm like, I'm scared of this room. I don't like this room. And like, again, my parents and my sister are like, oh my God, you're just being so sensitive. Get over it. But it's like, no, I think that was like my empathic side, feeling things in that space. And it wasn't until like, again, I met this woman that she started like making me think of my life. And this is something that I want to say. Like, people are like, I've never had a paranormal experience. I've never had this. But it's like, yeah, but if you actually think back in some memories that are weird, that might be a paranormal experience. And that actually happened to me.
What's an example of like a weird memory?
Yeah, so this one is really out there though. This is actually a full-on paranormal experience. So when I was about 9 or 10 years old, we lived in this house in Minnesota. We had the windows open because it was a summer night. And my sister, my oldest sister, because I shared a bedroom with two of my sisters. So it's 3 girls, but they're 10 years older than me. I'm the youngest. Oh, wow. So I was a kid, I was getting ready to go to bed. My older sister's in the closet organizing everything. The other sister is at a Chuck E. Cheese, like cleaning the bathrooms. We didn't know that at the time. We knew that she was at work. We just didn't know what was happening. So out of nowhere, we hear, her name's Erica, we hear Erica like call out my name 3 times, like, Steffany, like all panicking. And we're like, what is that? So we look out the window, no one's out there. And I'm like, okay. And I look at my older sister, Dolly, I'm like, did you hear that? It's Erica. We both agree that we heard it. We heard it 3 times. We went around the house. She wasn't there. Her car wasn't there. We called her job 45 minutes away. And her boss picks up. He's like, is this an emergency? And we're like, yes, because she sounds distraught. We heard her. And then so he passes a phone to her. She's in the bathroom and she's like really upset because she wants to leave. I dismissed that memory as just like my older sister playing a prank on me because there's just no way. Like, I'm like,
how
okay,
does it line up?
Right. It's like, this is a freaking prank. Fast forward, I'm doing like my paranormal stuff. I do a live with my older sister Dahlia, the one that was there that day. And we're revisiting this story. And she said to me, wait, you heard Steffany? I heard Dahlia. I heard Erica call Dahlia 3 times, not Steffany. I'm like, no, I heard her call my name. This is my haunted doll. I was in one of the sections of the comic book stores.
So this is a little boy right now.
Johnny is
I
his
can't
name.
even look at it. It has horrible energy. Like the energy just gives me chills. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Glorelys Mora, your favorite sage warrior, and I'm here to give you your astrology fortune for this season in the workplace. Scorpio, you take the meaning of happy hour way too seriously. We all know that when we go to happy hour, we're supposed to have 1 or 2 drinks, get some office tea, some insider tea, but you be taking it to the next limit. Like, you should not be going to happy hour and coming into the office drunk the next day. Also, everyone in the office knows that you're hiding a kid, very much like Drake. Sometimes you post kids on your stories, and we all know that's your child, but you say it's not. One good thing about Scorpio, I see a promotion. Because no one does things the way Scorpio does things. There's like a genius in the way that Scorpio moves. It's fresh and original ideas. Yeah, let's see what the cards say. Oh, not trauma. Let's put this card back. You're fine, Scorpio. Don't. That was bad.
I was a kid, I was getting ready to go to bed. My older sister's in the closet organizing everything. The other sister is at a Chuck E. Cheese, like cleaning the bathrooms. Out of nowhere, we hear, her name's Erica, we hear Erica like call out my name 3 times, like, Steffany, like all panicking. And we're like, what is that? So we look out the window, no one's out there. Fast forward, I'm doing like my paranormal stuff. I do a live with my older sister, Dahlia, the one that was there that day. And we're revisiting this story. And she said to me, wait, you heard Steffany? I heard Dahlia. I heard Erica call Dahlia 3 times, not Steffany. I'm like, no, I heard her call my name. And that's the thing about spirits. They can manifest and manipulate how to get your attention. So, yeah.
So how have you developed your skills or gifts?
Yeah.
Since then?
Yeah,
Is
like
that
how-
possible
yeah, that's a
to
good
like
question.
go to a workshop or a class, or what do you do?
So, like the classes that I attended in Denver, me and my husband do the psychic development circles here in
Is he also a psychic?
Yes. Yeah, I met him through the psychic development group. And the way that your skill works, I say it's like a muscle. I feel like everyone's intuitive. We've all been in a situation before where like, you know, you're thinking of somebody and they call you, right? You're like, oh, I haven't thought about so-and-so and they called me. Like, it's been months. Or you've been asleep and you feel like, I feel like someone's watching me, and you open your eyes and like your husband, your family, your mom, someone's watching you sleeping, you're like, wait, why?
Yeah, like what is that? Like what are those? Because we've all had those moments where you're just
That energy,
feel
like
it,
attracting
feel
energy.
it. What do you,
Yeah.
like in your experience, what do you think that is?
That's energy. That's like you like telepathically like communicating to that individual, or your energy being in their energy. Because like that's another thing too, is that like an empath, right? We're talking about empath. It's you feeling their energy in your space. The way I envision
like
it.
it's invading almost, like it's
What
you,
if,
like
you,
you can't
what if
turn
like,
it
you're
off.
thinking about somebody
Yes.
all the time? Are they thinking about you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Asking for a friend. I'm not. Just kidding.
I think you're.
What is that? I'm scared.
That's some good production. I heard some shit in the back.
No, actually, I'm scared right now.
No, it's fine. I think that like when you are thinking an individual, that could be you also like throwing energy at them.
I have a comment on that because 3 months ago I went to a wedding and I saw one of my good guy friends I hadn't seen since high school. And I met his wife for the first time. And I hadn't ever met her, but she sat next to me, and the second she sat next to me, I got this whirlwind of a feeling of like she's pregnant with a boy. I had never met her. I don't know her name, nothing. I haven't seen my friend in 10, 20 years since high school. She sat there and I'm like, are you pregnant? I didn't even say my name yet. She didn't know who I am. She's like, what? I was like, never mind. I'm sorry, because I thought that she got offended that I thought that she was pregnant from her like visually. I was like, no, it's not what you think. I just thought. She goes, wait. I was like, what? She's like, I am. We are, but we haven't told anybody. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we're the only ones who know. My whole body, I got chills, and I was like, oh my God, what was that? It was like a download.
Yes, it was a download.
And then when I told her that, she is actually a therapist, and she works for something called flow therapy, which is like a very intuitive healing therapy. It's more like of a knowing intuitive thing. And she's like, you should go to this intuition workshop.
Yeah.
And so to go back to your point is that I went to like develop these gifts, and I went that day, and we had to all bring an object, like 7 of us.
Yeah.
And she put it on a bucket, and nobody knew whose object it was, but we passed them around, and you had to intuitively guess whose it was in the room. And that's kind of how you start. I mean, at that day at the workshop. So I'm just like thinking about these things. I had to leave early, but it's just kind of crazy. We all get them, but it's whoever wants to continue to like develop that.
It's like a muscle. And
like a muscle.
There's different ways. That's a great way. Like psychometry, that's what it's called. Like you grab you grab the object and you can sense things, or you can see what you pick up and download. And also you talking about the woman being pregnant. Like I feel like that's clear cognizant. You just received the download. You don't know how. No one talked to you. Didn't see anything. You just knew.
And it's a boy.
Yeah, it's like clear
I don't
cognizance.
know.
Yeah, so like you are literally receiving that download, and that's also part of like some people believe it's part of the empathy. Like so, if you are an empath, claircognizance and sentience is what you automatically get because you're feeling things, you're receiving those downloads, whether it's emotions, whether it's just knowing things, and that's something with me too. Like I just know and feel things, it just pops up. Do you know what I mean?
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess like the point of this is like nobody's really like we can piece it all together and like you've experienced things and seen things that we haven't. You guys can hear my story. We can all hear each other what we've been through, but like I feel like there's so much more than like we can ever fully understand. And I know we had asked you to bring a tool. What was it? Like a tool. And oh my gosh,
Can you show us your
guys.
kit?
Yeah, let me grab him.
Oh my gosh. You guys. Love that. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
What?
This is so interesting.
Oh my God, I can't.
Okay, so this is my haunted doll, and so the story goes is that I had gone to a used used toy and comic book shop, and I was in one of the sections of the comic book stores, and I felt like something flicked my head, and I turn around, there's no one behind me because it's like a small little like room, like it's a corner, there's no door or anything, it's just like the wall right behind you in the corner. So I'm like, interesting. So I look down, I see this bucket, and I see like his like leg and butt like sticking out. And I'm like, okay. So I pulled it out, and we made eye contact. I'm like, oh, this is the energy that flicked my head. So I go to the front of the shop. I'm like, hey, like, how much does this doll cost? And he's like, oh, that's weird. We don't have a price tag. We'll give you $10 for it, I guess. I don't know. And I was like, okay. So it was calling to me. So upon like taking it home and like, you know, doing the energy work with me and my husband, we realized that it was an elderly woman who, during the end of her life, she was, because you know how elderly people start to act like children, whether it's their personality, how they talk, how they act. Well, this lady was collecting toys, like dolls and everything. And the more that me and my husband dig deeper into it, we realized that it was like a little boy that was related to this woman, her mom, her grandmother. So there's like a whole intricate storyline to it. And
So this is a little boy right now.
yeah, there's a little boy who was related to his grandmother, and it reminds him of his grandmother. So that was a vision that he was showing me.
I can't even look at it. It has horrible energy.
Yeah.
Like the energy just gives me chills.
Okay, my question is he Latino?
No, don't ask me that recently. A lot of people ask me, like, is he Latino?
I just want to know if he's Latino or not. Do you know, like, the hair, like...
You can know that of ghosts, like
He-
their background. Well, I guess can you?
He presents himself as an Asian, like boy. So I don't know, but there's an attachment to their grandmother, which I guess in a way, now that I'm saying it out loud, makes sense because maybe, guys, I know like in some Asian cultures and even like Latino cultures, we respect our elderly very much. So maybe there's something there with that. But he's very shy. Like he's literally like, I see him as a kid, like he likes to hide, and then it's like, okay, if people are being nice to me, I'll come out and be a little more active.
Do you feel like you have a connection to him in a way that it's like this is your role right now to like take care of him and be with him?
Yeah, until like he's ready to go, like the doll's ready to
the
go to
other
a
realm.
good home. And well, I don't really like to cross over spirits unless they're ready to, because we don't know where the other side is. Like,
What do you mean a good home? You're gonna give it away?
well, no, I don't. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just holding on to it because he felt like I would be able to give it a good home at this time. Whereas, like maybe it's it was. That's why he flicked my head like, hey,
What's
I'm
his name?
here. Johnny.
Why
Johnny
do you
is his
think
name.
this
Oh.
might sound super abstract, but why do you think people stay ghosts or don't move on? Like,
Yeah.
why is he still present in this, I guess, realm?
There's reasons why spirits stay here. The most common one is, of course, value of possessions and objects, like your house, a doll, a toy, whatever it is that you have such an attachment
Your family.
to. Right, your family. The other thing too is actually the living not letting go of the dead. For us, I'm Salvadorian. My family does this thing where we pray for 10 days after someone dies, 7 to 10 days, and
Same in Mexican culture.
and then we pray for the however many years that we believe in, right? I think it's like 10 years for us. With my grandmother, we've been doing it for 10 years. So there's a lot of cultures around the world that do this thing where we try to do the prayer to pray away the dead so they can get to their journey where they need to be. And it's really important. But the other thing too is there's also spirits that don't know that they passed. They die in their sleep or whatever.
And you fear unlocked.
or spirit, or people that pass away tragically and they weren't ready to leave.
Yep.
Like
The trauma.
I had somebody recently pass away, and I had a dream about them like 5 days later, and they were like, "I'm not leaving yet," and they kind of like were saying bye, but they were like, "I'm not leaving yet. I have to take care of my family."
my
So-
goodness.
You know,
was
I
like,
want to
wow.
say something before we transition. I think one thing that in the Dominican culture we don't have that the Mexican culture does have is Dia de los Muertos. And like every year, it's something that I've been learning more about. Like every year they put like the ofrendas so that they can still honor the dead. And I think that's kind of dope. Like I feel like, you know, like I was saying, I have a new fear unlocked, but I think it's dope to to just kind of coexist and like still pay respect to your ancestors.
Yes.
I think that's
To remember them. For me, we have the Saints Day. So it's not like Dia de los Muertos, but we do go to the tombstone. We do set up things for my grandfather.
No, I gotta go. No, who did that? I cannot. I can't. I feel like
telling you.
I can't.
Okay, well, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and log
No.
off of TikTok
John,
and
you better not be
IG.
doing that.
But you guys can head over to metoo.tv where we're gonna be participating in a psychic circle. So we'll be right back. That was not staged.
That was not. These are called envelope readings. So as you can see, there's going to be an envelope and a piece of paper. You're going to read it with your intuition. So close your eyes, start writing anything down, the first thought that comes to mind.
And then put it in the envelope, right?
It's good energy. Don't doubt it. I don't know why.
You wrote this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Glorelys Mora, your favorite sage warrior, and I'm here to give you your astrology fortune for this season in the workplace. Capricorn. What I like about Capricorn is that y'all come into the office, do what you gotta do, and then go home. I never really beefed with a Capricorn. You guys are really good about, you know, checking off the to-do list. A little too good. Maybe be a little flawed. You know, maybe get to know your coworkers. Maybe change your outfit. Maybe change your schedule. Maybe add a little bit of fun to the routine. It can't just be Monday through Friday, work, happy hour, and then your favorite TV show at home. Maybe pick up a side hustle, you know? Let's see what the cards have in store for you for this work season. The Chariot. It's giving leadership. It's giving promotion. It's giving budget increase. I like that for you. I like that. I hope all your projects get the funding they need for you. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Glorelys Mora, your favorite sage warrior, and I'm here to give you your astrology fortune for this season in the workplace. Yeah, spicy Pisces. Every time someone says, hey, we're meeting at 12, just put it in the calendar. We cannot have you late for all the meetings. Because you want to, you know, you have the greatest brain, you have such great ideas, but you never execute because you're always in a different world. You're always having an existential crisis at your desk. It's okay. But maybe like time the existential crisis for like 8 p.m. after hours, you know? We want to see less crying in the office and maybe less smoking weed in the office. We can smell it. It's pretty hot box. No pun intended. Let's see what the cards have in store for you. Look, the lovers. You love work. We love you at work too. We just never answer the emails. That's what they're upside down. Answer the emails, respond, and not one word response. Write a whole sentence. 3 sentences. That's how you reply to email.
Okay, Steffany, can you walk us through what we're about to do and why?
So these are called envelope readings. So as you can see, there's going to be an envelope and a piece of paper, and I'll hand it out to you guys already right now. And basically what this is, it's a great little exercise that I've done in the psychic development where you see how intuitive you are, essentially. So what you're gonna write in the envelope is either like a name, a person, a place, a month. Some people wrote like, you know, when will I get a new job or something, but it's something more open-ended question. And no definite, like no yes or no questions, just an open-ended question and see what comes through. But before we do the messages in the envelope, I do want to do a quick meditative, just a quick clear your mind thing.
Alrighty, girl.
Okay, so close your eyes real quick. I'm gonna take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I just want you guys to know that this is a circle of love and light. So imagine a white light around us, encompassing us from head to toe. Take another deep breath in. We'll do another deep breath in. And just imagine that our energy is going to the circle. We're protected. We are just in this space right now. Be here now. Let go of your worries. I'll give you a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can open your eyes. Okay, so now you're gonna write whatever it is that you wanna write. Make sure you're not looking at each other's messages.
Oh gosh.
And you're gonna put it in the envelope. So fold it a bunch of times.
Is anyone gonna see the messages?
No, but we're gonna read it out loud. So.
Okay, let's do this. I got it.
I don't really have anything in my mind.
And then put it in the envelope, right? I'm ready.
You're right. Okay. Swap the envelope in an even way, so maybe you to her and
Here,
yeah,
give them to me, and then
yeah.
I'm gonna like mix them up,
Yeah.
and then make sure. I know for a fact this one's mine, and then I don't know. That one's mine. I think. I hope.
Okay.
I hope.
Can't know.
Well, we'll find
Oh,
out.
don't read it yet. Don't read it. So you're gonna read it with your intuition. So close your eyes. Start writing anything down. The first thought that comes to mind. Some people will even hold like the envelope in their third eye or in their heart chakra, wherever you feel a call to in your body. You can hold it, sit with it for a moment, and then start writing whatever comes to mind.
Writing it on top of.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if it helps. If not, you can also store it in your memory bank. But usually, it's the first thought that comes to mind. Just write anything down. Don't think about it. It doesn't have to make sense for you. Remember, you're giving the message away to whoever is supposed to be receiving that message.
Yeah, I only have one word. I only have one word.
That's
that came to
okay.
mind. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes one word can be a very powerful thing. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so you got everything?
I wrote
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go with you first. We'll start with you first.
Okay.
What did you pick up and what did you write from this envelope?
Okay, I wrote love first for some reason. And then I wrote it's okay. And then I wrote it's good energy, don't doubt it. I don't know why.
Okay, now you can open it and read what it says. We'll see how we can.
Oh my gosh.
There's a connection.
Stop it.
My future lifestyle, where will I live?
Because I'm thinking about moving too. That was mine. So I'm thinking about potentially moving to find literally like love.
Oh my God,
That's so funny.
that's amazing.
Okay, Ivana. Wait, that's weird. Okay.
Okay,
What the F?
that is amazing. Okay.
I'm scared. Why are you scared?
Okay, but wait, that's so weird. Okay, because she said it's okay, it's good vibes, because I'm literally genuinely questioning if this
Yeah.
is my person. Is it gonna be worth it? Like, what's the vibes? Because it's long distance, and we're trying to figure out, is it gonna actually
Yeah.
become something?
But I thought it was for her. Like I thought it was her. What
No,
is the
no.
intuition?
No, you're picking it up for the other person.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, do you want to go next?
I wrote, okay, so on this one I wrote career stability. That's what kind of what I was getting. We'll see whose of y'all this was. It says, forest and tree tops coming in. What does that mean to you? Who wrote this?
I did. I was getting forests and trees. But
Forests
I have not. That was only what's coming to me.
That was your question?
That's just all I have.
forest.
So
Nothing
forests
else
and
came to me.
trees,
Like I was like,
but
forest and
career
trees.
is stability. But the forest is stability. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Stability is the forest. It's the earth. It's the element of earth.
What did you write?
Stability.
No, I'm saying like, what did
Career.
you write?
You're supposed to write like a question that you have.
That is. What does it mean to you? I don't know what it meant. It just came to me. I
That's
don't
what
know.
came to you? Okay, well,
Okay, well, stability.
stability, girl. What's yours?
I don't know. I think ours got swapped because that's what I wrote this career and stability in my. I put $1 million.
Money.
Idea of what's happening.
That is career and stability, honey, right
I think I don't know what you got, Jessica, but that's what was in this card. I got $1 million.
$1 million.
An Earth sign. I'm gonna marry a Capricorn.
Okay.
They are the money makers.
Yeah.
They are the
Hand.
money makers.
Yeah.
Capricorn.
$1 million and Capricorn
Ooh.
go hand in hand.
That's actually true, because they're like
Yeah.
the workaholics.
Yes,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Look at you, girl. Go on.
Did we do the exercise right?
No, I don't think. Okay, I don't want to be mean, but I don't think you got the exercise.
What? Okay.
You're supposed to write down a question for yourself, like, "Am I gonna make $1 million this year?"
What did you write?
I wrote an Earth sign. I was
You
asking a
wrote
question-
Earth
I was
sign.
asking a question about somebody that I know it's an Earth sign. Yeah.
You wrote this.
Yes. Do you not understand what's happening? Okay, I don't think you understand the activity. Let me. We're supposed to each write a question that we have. Like your question is
I
like,
literally wrote a question.
what was your question?
What does the forest and the trees mean to you?
Yeah, but for who was that question for?
It just what I wrote
Yeah,
down.
but it's a question for you.
I didn't have anything that came. I literally did nothing
Yeah, I
came to me. So
You know what?
No, yeah, okay. We're
Y'all,
just
we did what
confused.
we
did. We
did.
did what we
I don't
did.
want to. Stephanie, did we disappoint you?
No,
I
still think there was some.
complete. I feel like when I
I think that that's like the best
when
thing you can
I
ever get.
picked up this envelope, it felt like a check.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that message is for me or that message
No,
is
baby,
for her
baby,
now.
don't take my dreams. I read this. This is
No,
for
but
me.
I'll take the trees and
The idea is that
the love.
The idea is that. Okay, this is the idea. The idea is that we wrote a question down for ourselves. So I wrote down an earth sign, thinking about the person.
You were
that
thinking
I'm
the
with,
person you're
that
with.
I'm with. And then we're gonna switch envelopes.
And see what we
whatever
get.
energy that you feel from it, you're gonna send this energy, this message, this
You're writing down the message
envelope,
from
a
them.
message. So like, if you were to think like, whatever, if you were like, don't do it, you wrote that. It's like, oh, the answer is like, okay, I can't, I'm not gonna do it with this earth sign. That's what it was.
So I literally wrote forest and trees. That's it. I wrote forest and
That's
trees.
not a question.
Yo, maybe I'm stupid.
So no, I think
Every-
here's-
okay.
Wait, let her
but
talk.
here-
Let her
here's
talk.
the
Let
thing.
her talk.
The point is,
Let her
no,
talk.
let,
Let her
I
talk.
want to hear it out because
Yes,
okay,
please.
but I still think you were picking up something
Yeah.
though.
You
Because,
You were.
Because
I think she was picking up on me.
I think she was picking up the set.
yeah, it could be a couple things because like, well, but here's the thing though, the fact that you said earth sign though, they do stand
Yeah.
for career though. So I'm not sure if you were wondering if that individual was looking for a career or stability, but that's what I was guessing is that you were picking up the energy of that person as a moneymaker.
Yes.
Which
yes.
she is a moneymaker.
Which is a moneymaker. So that is the truth.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? I wanted to ask earlier because I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to ask. I think a lot of people always confuse like anxiety. Not I don't want to say anxiety. It's like not
No,
the right
of
word, but
course.
anxiety with intuition. Do you know where? I feel like. Do you have a feeling of where that intuition is? Like for me, I always like okay, maybe it's right here, like in this area. But like when you're making decisions out of life, whether it's for career or relationship, where is your intuition? You know, and which I think
Yeah.
ties into like the power part of it. Of like my
Yeah,
gut.
no, I think that's a great question. I think people feel different senses. Like for me, like I will feel like a weird tick like right on my head. Like there's like something like being poured on my brain or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, something's opening up. This is a download.
how I feel right now.
Yeah, it's like that. And my husband, he gets like weird like shivers on his back, and that's why he's like, okay, there's something here. And then, but that's why I think that's why they call it the gut feeling, because
Yeah.
whoever started this terminology, we do get senses in our stomach too. That is a part
How-
of sensitivity.
How can you decipher from your intuition just like a fear-based energy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why it's really important when people get into this field is to take care of yourself. Like eat right, meditate. Again, know
Have a
your
clear
body.
channel.
Have a clear channel. Know yourself. Know your body, because you're right. It's really hard to distinguish that at times. And have asked people, I'm like, okay, you're feeling anxiety. I'm like, have you gone to the doctor? Are you before we get
Like,
into
are you
this? Like,
sick?
yeah, because I don't want to jump into the like feed into this like, okay, you're not taking care of yourself. It's something supernatural. Like even for me, who is a psychic medium, I don't like to scare people. Like, okay, you're having demons. All this. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
did want to ask you about that. Okay, so you said you're a psychic medium. Are there people that come up to you and are like, read me, or like maybe you're picking up on something and you can't say it? Like, how do you find a balance as a person that you're probably picking up on so many things? How do you stay sane? And then how do you distinguish between, okay, I'm actually gonna read into this person or not?
Yeah.
And like, how are you blocking it? Because you also mentioned that you block it too,
Yeah,
right?
though that's a great. I love that question. So, because I am where I'm at and I'm very intuition, I do pick up energy on people. I'm actually very selective with who I let in my life now because of it. Because when I first started doing this journey, I did have people who were also classmates taking this psychic development, and they would call me up for messages all the time, even though they were in the same class as me and they were using me for those things. I'm like, I can't. You need to practice
boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. You have to set boundaries with people, and it's hard. And luckily, I'm in a place now that I don't attract those people anymore. Like I get I'm really good with boundaries and who I attract in my life. But the second thing of like washing away people's energy, because even like you guys in general, right? Like we're in front of a camera a lot. People are watching us. We do need to cleanse our energy, whether we're in their presence or behind that camera. People are watching us. So one thing that I do is there's salt baths, but not everyone owns a bathtub or takes a bath. So what I do is the salt scrub. You know, like sugar scrub, salt scrub.
Republic?
You know what? I actually think there's a lot of energy in our hair. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that whenever I do like a deep wash, whatever, I feel like I'm getting rid of
Yeah.
like, shit, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like when I shower, my shower is my ritual. I go into the shower, I envision that I'm washing away all the energy. I'm doing the salt scrub. I'm putting salt all over myself. Some people make their own shampoos with herbs and stuff. So yeah, there's little things that you can find for yourself.
It's funny because even this morning when I woke up early because I had a panel at like 5 in the morning, and I drank water with lemon, like warm in the morning, and I like just envisioned it clean, like the first thing that I drank.
Yeah.
Like I envisioned it cleaning my whole body, like just cleansing it. And then I took a little leaf sage and I just staged my house and I said thank you, and I kind of moved my body and like just kind of airing out things. Like I think that we all have like our own rituals and stuff, but
Honestly, I feel like I could sit here and talk to you about this for hours because there's just so many different, I think, levels that we can like delve into, and we can actually do that in a couple of minutes when we get back for the wind down. So we'll be right back, guys.
I'm gonna have you pull 3 cards from here. First card is the person is in a cage. They feel like they can't express themselves. No one cared about you. Like no one's like, not in a mean way, but more like no one's checking in on you. Like, hey, are you doing okay? But I feel like it's a love though.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Glorelys Mora, your favorite sage warrior, and I'm here to give you your astrology fortune for this season in the workplace. Sagittarius, we know you like to travel. We know PTO was created for you, but you're ruining remote work for everybody. You can't just be on the other side of the country and be remote working. Maybe like in a different state, but you being in Australia is wild. You also can't quit every single job you start. Like you should see something through, right? You can't just go by personalities and your feelings. That's not how work works. That's part of adulting, having a job. Over here, I see coins and a sad person. It's giving overspending. And it's okay. We're gonna get it together in the next pay cycle. No, but you are a great leader. You have great ideas. And I like that you're straight to the point. Sometimes a little too straight to the point. So maybe stay away from your water sign colleagues. They don't like that. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Glorelys Mora, your favorite sage warrior, aka your Hoodscopes queen, and I'm here to give you your astrology fortune for this season in the workplace. Virgo, you're not the only one with problems. Everyone has problems. Virgos, you're a perfectionist. You're not Beyonce. There's only one Beyonce. You are you. Let's see what Beyonce, not the Wheel of Fortune too, but this one's upside down, so it's maybe misfortune for you. Maybe you got paid twice, but then one of the direct deposits came back, and you're gonna have to overcompensate for that. But I would also recommend changing your playlist at work. We can hear you crying, about some of the problems you have, and stop being mean to people. But we do like everything that you bring to the office parties. You have some really good taste, very first class taste. I think you're gonna be flying business class soon, so that's good for you. So we're back. We had our little drinks, a little smoked sangria. And I wanted to know, so Steffany, after I went through my breakup, the algorithm be picking up on your brain. And I just got all of these TikTok, like people reading my energy and telling me that someone still misses me, which I think is true. But how do you know if, I think with the age of the internet and with just so much accessibility to technology, how do you know if somebody is really maybe scamming you when it comes to spirituality and like intuition readings?
Yeah, that's a great question. In my experience, and I know this might be controversial for some people, but this is just my truth. I do believe that there's people out there that will tell you like, oh, I have a reading for you, and then they'll follow up with like, you have a curse. Yeah. So one of my biggest pet peeves is the curse. They'll charge you $500, $1,000 for this special candle to remove a curse. That's not how it works. That to me is it's fear-basing people into wanting your services so they can rope you in and continue to charge you for things.
Can I tell you guys something that happened to me literally yesterday? I was walking through Victoria's Secret, and a girl, I'm not kidding, I barely walked through the doors of Victoria's Secret, and a girl's charging towards me, hands me a card, she goes, see me, and then she just like,
that's good marketing.
Goes out. And guess what? I look at the card and it was like psychic reading for love life. If you want to like change your life, blah, 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 blah. Like, it looked like she was like targeting me.
That do that. Like, I had someone like come into my car and give me a card. It was like,
yesterday this happened. And I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Do you feel like those people like felt something towards me in that moment? Or like, what do you think it was?
It's hard to say because I think it's very markety. I think when you're ready to receive the message, then it will come to you. Because again, I've been in situations where people have been giving readings like publicly or out there. And I'm like, they weren't ready to hear that message. And so therefore, it's not going to resonate.
Or like those Instagram videos where they're like, if you're watching this, this was meant to find you, and then they're like shuffling through the tarot cards, and they're like, oh, the shadow of death, you're definitely going through, like, and you're just watching this like, what? Like, how could this possibly be real? You know what I mean?
I mean, so I'm torn between that one too, because I agree with what you're saying. Like on one hand, I'm like, this is kind of like weird and markety, but on the other hand, I do believe that if things are meant to find you, they'll find you in the right time and place. But that being said, the algorithm is so smart now, and it's gonna, if you're talking about shopping at, I don't know, Walmart, it's gonna, all these videos at Walmart are gonna pop up all of a sudden.
It's
you know
the algorithm.
Yeah,
Your phone's listening to you, y'all.
I think with
So what are, sorry, go ahead.
I think with the internet, like sometimes I do believe that you might be on a frequency. Like you are putting energy out there, you get something back. So sometimes the message is like super positive. Like sometimes I get like really positive message. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take that because that's the energy that I'm in right now. If you think I'm gonna be a star, fine. So yeah, I think it's what you put out there.
Exactly.
Steffany, we got a question from our audience, which is we have psychic mediums who are hitting up in our DMs, you know, unsolicited, saying, hey, I have an imperative message for you. Most likely, do we feel like that falls on the like do not respond side? Or is that, you know, are there some psychic mediums out there who really will reach you out and have messages for you?
I've never met a credible psychic medium or any medium reach out to people online, right? It's very spammy. Again, if it comes off too markety, it's not for you. Let's put it that way.
It was like, take this card, like see me, and I was like, oh,
That's
my
scary
God.
as hell.
If it feels ingenuine, then it's not. It just, you know what I mean? Because again, like when you're ready to receive a message, because chances are too, when you're seeing somebody that's doing readings, you already know the answer, but you want someone else to confirm it. Chances are, most of the time.
Wait, do you have any
know?
messages for us?
I do have
closing
cards.
messages?
I have cards I can
my
read.
gosh.
I want to do like a
little
like
message
a
Oh my
little
God,
chat.
I feel, are you sure? Like,
Sure, I can
Message
do.
for each of us.
I think I had my little like cards here. I don't know if I can pull them out.
Can we do it? A message for you?
Quick message.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Well, who wants to do it? Do you want to do it, Ivana?
I'm down.
All right, yeah.
If not, no worries, no pressure. I won't feel bad. It will not hurt my feelings either way.
Oh my goodness.
What I'm going to have you do is, as I'm shuffling these, I want you to close your eyes and just say your name just a few times. You can say it out loud.
Okay.
So I can, and imagine that you are connecting your cord to me.
Full name or?
Just your first name. It doesn't have to be, yeah. Ivana. Okay, I feel you're very easy. Yeah, you're so open. I felt like
She's very open.
I feel like I'm connected
She's very
too.
open.
Yeah, I
She's
felt,
very
yeah,
I'm plugged in.
you're very plugged in. Yeah, so I'm gonna shuffle these for you, and all right, and just think of whatever it is that you want answered, and then I'm going to try to give the message accordingly, right? So I'm gonna have you pull 3 cards from here. You can just put them face down. Perfect. And now I'm just gonna open them up. This one, and this one. So the first card, so this is a past, present, and future.
Yes.
So the first card is feeling like, you know, again, the person is in a cage. They feel like they can't express themselves. So in the past, and I kind of feel like this is far back as like more of like your younger, not like recent past, but even like, yeah, like your younger self, like an adolescent almost. But I feel like you dealt a lot with like a lot of people putting a lot on you and responsibility on you that you couldn't express yourself. It wasn't like about your needs, it was about other people's needs around you. Like I kind of see you as like a big sister almost, like you had to play the big sister or a mom for other people. And so in your younger life, like if you couldn't, no one cared about you. Like no one was like, not in a mean way, but more like no one was checking in on you like, hey, are you doing okay? You know, it was more of like, what can you provide for everybody else? And now that you're here in this space, it's like people still don't check in on you almost. Like you want more checking in, more foundation and everything like that. But I feel like it's a love though. I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
you're literally nailing it on the love
I feel like
portion
I'm
of
like
this.
I'm in here.
And so
The love portion of this.
And so anyway, what they're saying is that in order for you to have this harmony, because I do see a good balance though, I ultimately see the outcome being a really good balance, but in order to get to that space, this needs to be healed. So like, I guess what they're saying is go back to those moments in life where it really hurt, like not to trigger you or traumatize you, but go back to those moments and tell yourself, soothe that person. Because right now, like in a way, you kind of think back of like, well, no one cared about me when I was this age, or no one wanted to be there for me. And like now I'm here and I'm giving everything, and what? So, but I do see harmony and balance. It's going to happen. So trust the process. But in order to just smoothen that transition, you got to heal that portion of you. I hope that resonates.
I think we have to do ours offline because I think we're cutting into some of the wind down. But I feel like it's about like some of the stuff we've been talking about lately.
You know, it's so interesting just because I understand like Ivana's current, landscape when it comes to like your relationships and career and balancing all that. A lot of like what I'm saying right here literally makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And I know this is ultimately what you want, and maybe this could be something of what you're feeling at the moment, but I don't know. I feel like you're gonna end up, of course, that's the goal, is to end up achieving that.
Wait, before we leave, I think we wanted to know, like, any of your opinions changed before you came in today, like, to now?
Well, I know, Ivana, you've been really open about, like, you tap into everything, and, you believe in God's source, and, like, you've done this, you're really tapped into spirituality in general,
I just,
right?
I'm so intrigued, and I just want to keep learning and exploring, and I'm just open to, I think anything is possible, so who am I to say that this is not right, Like, I'm just going
I think so. As like anybody here behind the camera or in front of the camera, you guys know, like, I'm very tapped into my religious beliefs. It's always interesting to hear how other people interpret the demonic or the spiritual world, or like what they understand of everything. I'm very much like, I love hearing other people's perspectives, so it's always interesting hearing what you have to say and like how we interpret it. Because again, like, we're all humans and we're all trying to figure it out. Like, what is the meaning of all this? Like, where are we going? What's the end game? Like, how are we supposed to be? How are you supposed to act? And I think people gravitate towards whatever it is going to make them feel, I don't know, some sort of comfort or some sort of understanding. We just ask all these questions. So it's always interesting to hear, like, other people's perspectives. So thank you for that. How about
I think
you?
for me, I think, like, my journey with, like, spirituality in the terms of, like, cards and like crystals is kind of coming to a pause. But I think what really helped was this exercise about intuition. I feel like I get a lot of like messages and even a little bit clairvoyant sometimes. I feel like a lot of the career decisions I've made have been like, did you know something? So I think I want to work on that, like developing like clarity in my intuition. But I think I'm gonna put the tarot cards down for a little bit.
Fair.
That's where I'm at.
I think that we are very grateful, Steffany, for you to be here.
I had a great time.
And I just want to remind everybody out there that, this is all, mysteries that are unknown and unsolved, and whether you're a believer or you're a skeptic, you got to just go with what you feel. And don't be afraid to explore. And I hope this just piqued your interest in learning and researching more. And that little hunch on your back, you never know what it is, right?
Where can people follow you, by the way?
Or the footsteps on the ceiling.
Or the footsteps on the
I
ceiling.
am on TikTok, so I'm Steffany_Strange on TikTok and Instagram, and also on YouTube, Steffany Strange.
Amazing.
Thank you,
I can't wait to
Steffany.
continue watching your stuff. You guys, my name is Jessica Flores.
I'm Glorelys Mora.
I'm Ivana Rojas.
And I am Steffany Strange.
And this is Girl, Let Me Tell You.